A man contacts a state care agency to demand payment for his daily work as his mother's caretaker. In the exact same conversation, he mentions that she has been missing for over a week. Albuquerque police arrive at the residence in October 2025. They are there to perform a welfare check on 69-year-old Ernestina Encero. Officers start with the neighbors, who provide immediate red flags. They report that Ernestina's son, Leroy, had been trying to sell his mother's car, claiming she had suddenly moved to Mexico. Inside the home, the physical evidence immediately contradicts Leroy's story. Ernestina's vital daily medications and her entire wardrobe remain untouched, items she almost certainly would have taken if she had left the country. While searching the kitchen, an officer begins digging through a pile of clutter near the refrigerator. At the very bottom of a deep freezer, hidden completely beneath heavy black trash bags, he discovers human remains. The discovery of a body inside ends the welfare check and begins a full homicide investigation. Detectives now face the task of interrogation, focusing on the son already detained in the back of their cruiser. In the interrogation room, Leroy's demeanor is shockingly casual. He admitted to strangling his mother, telling investigators he did it because he simply wanted his nightmares to stop. Leroy explains a complex delusion that drove his actions. He believed his mother and her associates were part of a witchcraft covenant that had spent years trying to destroy his soul. From Leroy's perspective, the murder was not an unprovoked attack. After 17 long years of severe insomnia and paranoia, he viewed the killing as a final, desperate act of self-defense. Investigators looking into Leroy's past found a potential origin for this cognitive decline. Years earlier, while he was hitchhiking in the town of Roswell, New Mexico, he became the victim of a brutal assault. Leroy was beaten and then run over by a truck, leaving him with profound physical injuries and a traumatic brain injury. His family believes this event initiated his total break from reality. These events suggest a tragedy of circumstance rather than simple malice. A past medical trauma appears to have fractured Leroy's mind, eventually turning his own mother into a mortal threat in his eyes. This was not the first time police had been to the home. In November 2023, officers responded to a domestic violence call after Leroy physically attacked Ernestina. At the time, Ernestina made a choice that would prove fatal. She refused to press battery charges against her son, hoping the state would place him in a mental hospital rather than a jail cell. That decision hit a systemic wall. Without criminal charges, Ernestina was left as the sole caretaker for a violently paranoid man while struggling with dementia. This lack of intervention sent them back to an isolated environment where his delusions escalated. The legal and medical systems were unable to step in. Ernestina remained trapped in the house with a man who was rapidly losing his mind, until the situation reached a breaking point. Back in the interrogation, one question remained: the whereabouts of Jose Angel Frias, Ernestina's ex-boyfriend, whom Leroy claimed had gone to Mexico. Leroy then offered a second confession. He admitted to shooting Jose in the head while he was asleep, using a pillow to muffle the sound of the gunshots. Most disturbing was Leroy's claim that Ernestina had helped him. He told detectives that she refused to call the police and instead assisted him in dismembering the body and hiding the remains. This image shows a reciprocating saw discovered by investigators under the kitchen sink. On the blade, they found what appeared to be dried bloodstains, a piece of physical evidence that grounded Leroy's claims in reality. Despite the confession, Jose Angel Frias remains listed as a missing person. With Ernestina dead, the truth of her alleged involvement in a second murder can never be fully confirmed. Leroy Vallejo was eventually found incompetent to stand trial. He was committed to a state behavioral health institute for treatment. The case stands as a reminder of the destructive path of untreated mental illness, and it creates a wake of collateral damage that erases the lines between a nightmare and the truth, leaving behind secrets that the justice system may never be able to fully uncover.